So maybe you saw that post when I talked about stuffing my face right now. I just got done stuffing my face because, yeah, last night or this morning, I dealt with some very aggressive arm pain, and it felt like, intense growing pains. And so I talk about that so you know what you're in for on so many different levels. Because if you're trying to take away the pain with even J juice or any other remedy, you're practicing alchemy. You're practicing witchcraft. You want to be someone's savior. And the Jilly Juice world brought out a lot of saviors, witches, warlocks, and wizards that want to be a savior, want to be somebody's redeemer, and then also get paid for it too, which I completely chased them off as well. Because I'm not trying to charge people to deal with pain. You charge people for taking away pain, but that's the thing, it has to be FDA approved. So then you shouldn't be charging anyone to deal with these symptoms, which means that in my book, I'm not going to have any place where you can take away the pain, even with the J juice. You'll figure out what you're willing to deal with, and if you want to use J juice as a cure, there's always that option, because I'm going to say in so many words that yes, JJ can be a cure, but also can be a catalyst, but you don't want to be cured, because that means then you will eventually pay the piper for getting that gift of equilibrium so you can go have fun, okay? But yeah. So I released somebody off my Facebook because they just kept wanting to save me from my pain. No. You're going to find that anyone, when you talk about your pain on Facebook or anywhere else, someone's going to want to save you. And I've said to this person, and I've tagged them in videos, please do not use JJ as a cure. Please do not use JJ as a cure. Please do not recommend any kind of cures or remedies to myself or anyone in my audience. And what that young lady posted or commented was exactly what the group was like a couple years ago, when everyone was using JJ as a cure, as well as using magnesium oil and vitamin D supplements and all these different types of oils and extracts in reaction to them bringing up the predispositions, which, that was a couple years ago. And then people fell away when I was evolving because they couldn't get with my information for whatever reason. Maybe they just lost interest. And then they came back again, but completely not edified to the current reality that I'm living in as far as the evolution of the J juice, and are still back in a couple years ago. And that's the thing, is there's some people in our society that are so programmed, that have so many predispositions. And yeah, they could have strokes in their background. They could have heart issues in their background. They could have so many issues. And yeah, of course you're going to be scared of bringing that up. Of course you're going to be trying to find a way to use J juice as a cure topically or internally, but maybe you're afraid to do it internally because you might bring up something like a heart issue or a brain issue, neurological issue. And so then the J juice is not then made for someone like that who has so many predispositions and are in the holistic world, that you feel bad because you know that, yeah, the pain's going to be intense for some people. And again, some people are very heavily programmed. And there are specific cultures that are extremely programmed, that have been built under such pressure that for them to release that pressure, it would be painful. And then to gain it back again on some level, it would be painful. And some people are built like brick shit houses. They are super huge. And it could be even muscular. Okay? And so, yeah, there's going to be some cultures that will have a very hard time looking at the J juice as a catalyst to evolution, and they will be using it as a cure. And that's not going to happen. And I could tell when someone is still under the influence of the holistic allopathic. I can even tell by how they respond to my information and the comments they make. They're not, some of the comments people make that I know are still under the influence are very detached from the reality of the J juice, very detached from their own reality of their own predispositions. And maybe say that it's a medical issue they may have as well, but there's also the the persona of just not facing the reality of what's going on here and what the whole point of the JJ meta mentality is and the whole point of the J juice. And so, I'm writing a chapter about the race of the witches. What is it called? What did I call this chapter? Just so you kind of know, the race of the illuminated lay witches or Wiccans. And there are very high level witches in the Rosicrucian order with all politics, religion, and scientific dogmas. And they have trained lay witches. And those lay witches hold holistic allopathic licenses, as well as those that are not licensed but deem themselves some kind of alchemist because they've read a bunch of stuff on the internet on how to put together oils and extracts and all of that. And so, there's definitely, there's two sides to this society. And what I'm trying to do is merge both sides of society. The fantasy of like, oh, that's not real, that's not true, that's just someone's imagination, and to your reality, and conjoin them together and force you to fucking look at it if you dare. You don't have to. You don't have to buy my book. You don't have to follow me on Facebook. You don't have to read any of my information. But when I tag you in a video, and I've tagged this person in a video several times, please do not use JJ as a cure. Please do not recommend any remedies or painkillers, whether it's J juice, salt water, or using the leaves of the plant soaked in jelly juice as a cure to rapper. I have armpit, but not anymore. I was feeding myself. You know how you respond to fucking pain? I don't try to cure it. I eat. Because I was hungry last night at 3 o'clock in the morning. I was freaking hungry, but I wasn't going to get up at 3 in the morning and go and stuff my face. I just went to sleep. I just put on my radio or my YouTube videos and I listened to something to distract me from, the uncomfortableness, and I went to sleep. And I woke up, okay, a little tired, yes. My dog was still sleeping, but I knew I had to get some stuff out because I was really in pain this morning when I woke up. And so I went into the shower and took a shower after I emptied my bowels, and I just made sure everything was clean, and I felt better. And then I was hungry around 12 o'clock, a couple hours ago. And so I made myself a pork chop and mac and cheese and veggies and added all these different, elements and minerals and whatever, and salt. And I just ate. I had a bunch of raisin toast and cream cheese, and I had some coffee and a shot of Coca-Cola, and I'm fine. And I'm feeling better because I fed the energy. But I'll tell you, you have to understand your alimentary canal. You have to understand feeling the pain, because the magic is in the pain. When you think about the equal exchange of energies, when you get the gift of sight, when you get the gift of clarity of thought, when you get the gift of speech, when you get the gift of writing, when you get the gift of making the connections, when you get that gift of a completely different way to be that is going to only help you, not hurt you, then there is pain involved after the fact at some point, because you're utilizing so much energy and you have to recoup the resources. So it's a type of payment. When you are wanting to be out there playing all the games out there, and you don't want to be feeling the pain, the payment, the feeling the pain, the equal exchange of energies, and then you want to go get a surgery, you want to go get oncology, you want to go get some kind of pill, powder, supplement, or detox, or some kind of remedy, then you are taking out loans against your life when you think about it. And at some point, Mother Nature is going to call in those loans, and it will be at a time that it'll be the least unexpected time of your life. And so the whole point of the JJ mentality is to understand that for every gift that you receive through viruses, through any information, or through your ability to do something, you have to pay in the energy of recouping the resources. And that means you may have to blow your nose because you're out there in public taking on viral gifts. If you are working out and you want the gift of muscles like Arnold Schwarzenegger, then you're gonna have to pay with the payment of pain. But what happens is, with someone like Arnold Schwarzenegger, who has abused his body for such a long time, now his body is deflating. And you look at him today, and he doesn't look like he did 20 years ago. Oh, but Jillian, nobody does. Yeah, because you have taken out loans against your life using all the remedies, the cures, and all the hormonal replacement therapy, so you can be in the game and stay in the game and make your money and get all the accolades and whatever. But at some point, Mother Nature said, okay, now you got to pay. You played, now you got to pay. Well, yeah, yesterday I played, when you think about it, because I was on Facebook talking about CERN. I was talking about so many things, okay? And I had such clarity of thought yesterday. I was like, I felt very energetic. And it was because I received a virus in some fashion, okay, whether it's through my husband or through the air. I don't know where I pick up these viruses. They just happen to come through. Okay, I inhale it because it is windy outside. We're getting a storm today. And so yesterday I was on my fucking game. And then last night, my dog woke up with a start, ran downstairs. I came down here with her, let her outside, and then she's down here for a bit. And then I was upstairs and whatever. And then at 3 o'clock in the morning, the pain fucking hit. And it is in the middle of the night, which means that your body's going through reparations. It is now repairing or upgrading you, and also putting all the different, things, the excess in your storage tank, like your colon, and then you have to release it. And in the process, you will be in pain. And so I knew for me to stop the pain, it's not to use a remedy or use J juice to wrap a fucking rag around my arm and be like, okay, I want to. No, I dealt with it. I emptied my bowels. I knew that was one way. You blow your nose. I was blowing my nose a lot last night. Like, blew my nose a whole lot. I was coughing out stuff. Well, I wasn't really coughing out stuff. I was blowing my nose like a lot. And I had a bunch of rags that I was going through. And then I had to empty my bowels in such a way. And you'll understand how that works when you finally figure out your sphincter. And then I had to deal with the pain. And then it subsided because I released a lot of those little demons that were in my colon, sending those crazy messages. And so then I didn't have any food until about 12. And I had, a bunch of coffee with cream, and then I fed the energy. And I'm not tired. Usually when I am when I'm hungry like that, and it wasn't like a drop in sugar, but it was just like I was just eating. I need to eat. I usually would take a nap after eating, but I'm not tired. I'm not tired. And so that's a very different space that I've been in when it comes to eating and napping and dealing with whatever. And now I can make that correlation that, yeah, you play, you pay. And some people don't want to pay, and so they want to get all the shortcuts, like the immunologies, like the surgeries, like all the different therapies. And then they'll say, yeah, I paid my money, or I got it for free from the government. No, I'm sorry, but you're going to pay in a different way. You will pay for that. And it will be through your insurance policy, when you have to go and pay your copay and then get all the different therapies that then will shorten your lifespan. And then you will pay with your life. That's what human sacrifice is that you brought something to the table, but you didn't pay for really being, getting that opportunity, even though, yeah, you paid some money. But when it comes to your time here on earth, you got to feel the pain. The pain is the payment. The money is just another smoke and mirror. Okay, big deal. So you have money, so now you bought what? A fucking car. Who cares? Okay, you have money, now you bought a toy. Who cares? The real payment of you getting these gifts is the pain. Is the pain of regeneration, the actual, literal, equal exchange of energies. Though the financial system has found a way to use pain and people's energy and their resources and translate it into some kind of currency, like the crypto or the US dollar or the yen or whatever, or the what is it? The renminbi, I forget. It's the Chinese dollar. But I'm telling you, the real payment is the pain. And so anyone that recommends a cure for you or wants to go and end your pain for you, well, that's called euthanasia. And so, yeah, I was a little boisterous with all the caps, going like, I'm sorry, but you don't get it. And you want a private message me? No fucking way. I don't need to go back and forth with someone on private messenger. I pretty much am straightforward on Facebook, and I will say things countless times, but people do have, I understand people have issues. They have neurological issues. If you have neurological issues and you can't take simple directions, there's no way you're going to understand the J juice. You shouldn't be doing this. Go see your doctor. And I think that's what the person's issue is. They dealt with a stroke before, so it probably cognitively kept them unaware of the messages I've been sending them through tagging and through straightforward, and they're still looping in the holistic stuff. And I'm sorry, this is not for you. You shouldn't be on my page. You need to see a doctor or a holistic professional, but this is not appropriate for you. And I don't need the comments on the Facebook. So that's also the other side of it. There's going to be cognitively unaware people that don't understand this. And I have to know, I didn't know this person actually had a stroke. Actually, I just because I was talking about typing, and they're like, well, I can't do block letters, or I don't like block letters, so cursive was easier for her. And I said typing's easier for me. She's like, oh, it would be, but I had a stroke. So that's, I understand now. And so that's unfortunate that some people will not cognitively understand this. And that's okay. Just like, you know, I'm not equating that person with an autistic person, but if there is some sort of issue with understanding things, then yeah, you shouldn't be doing this, because you have to understand the JJ meta mentality. You have to understand that you have to deal with the pain. Okay? And if that is a major mental block, literally and figuratively, then you have no business being on this page or understanding this, because you will then use JJ as a cure. You will then use JJ as a detox. And I've seen that people say, oh yeah, Julia juice is just a cleanse. And I'm just like, whatever. I mean, whatever. You can't reason with people who look at JJ's as a cure, a cleanse, to keep them in the game, because they are liking their riches, their accolades. I get it. I understand what people's intentions are, especially how they characterize the JJ's. But no, it's not a cleanse. It's not a detox. It's not a cure. Yeah, it could be used as that, but that's not the point. But Jillian, sorry, but that's not the point. If you're going to be using a detox, a cleanse, or a cure, you might as well just call yourself a holistic professional, allopathic, and go get the surgeries. Go get all the antibiotics. Okay? If that's how you're going to characterize this protocol, is that it's a cleanse, a cure, or a detox, or a remedy. And that's mischaracterizing. But that's also how people want to position it when they have an audience that doesn't understand this, because the audience is under the unicorns and fucking rainbows. And they're not willing to edify their audience, because remember, people have jobs and they would rather put on an image than put out the reality. Because, yeah, how do you straddle the world of the JJ and then your public professional lifestyle on Facebook? Therein lies the problem. And so instead of saying, oh yeah, thanks to the Julie Juice cleanse, just say, hey, thanks for your support and all this. But do not ever characterize Julie Juice as a cleanse, a detox, a cure, or a remedy, because then you are kind of slapping me in the face and saying, yeah, fuck you, I'm going to use J Juice as a cure. That's disrespectful. But I have a lot more compassion for some of my early adopters who have gone through some hell, and they need to have this time. But don't abuse it. Don't let it get away from you, because as soon as you get used to being cured, you won't know when your body will give out, because you don't have the substance. All right, bye.